What if there was a prayer so powerful it could literally alter the fabric of reality around you? Abd-al-Qadir al-Jilani, the great Sufi master, taught a specific method of remembrance that witnesses claimed could move mountains, part seas, and bend the laws of physics themselves. However, here's what most people don't understand about this supernatural practice. It's not about asking God for favors. This isn't about hoping for divine intervention. This is about becoming such a pure channel for divine will that reality itself reshapes around your consciousness. And the man who mastered this art became known as the Sultan of Saints, the most powerful spiritual figure in Islamic mysticism. Born in 1077 in Persia, Abd-al-Qadir al-Jilani would become the founder of one of the most influential Sufi orders in history. But before he achieved spiritual mastery, he was just a seeker like any other, searching for the secret that would unlock the hidden powers of the human soul. The breakthrough came during his years of intense spiritual practice in the wilderness of Iraq. For months, he survived on nothing but wild herbs and divine remembrance. It was during this period of extreme purification that he discovered what he called the prayer of power, a method of divine remembrance so concentrated, so aligned with cosmic forces that it could literally alter physical reality. But what exactly was this method? And more importantly, how did it work? Abd-al-Qadir understood something that modern quantum physics is only now beginning to glimpse. Consciousness and reality are not separate. At the deepest level of existence, mind and matter are one unified field. When consciousness achieves perfect alignment with divine will, it gains the power to reshape the physical world. His method was based on what he called concentrated divine remembrance. But this wasn't ordinary prayer or meditation. This was a precise technique for synchronizing human consciousness with the fundamental frequencies of creation itself. The first element was complete purification. Abd-al-Qadir taught that before attempting to influence reality through prayer, one must become absolutely pure, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Every trace of personal ego, every selfish desire, every attachment to outcome must be dissolved. Only when the self becomes completely transparent can divine power flow through it without distortion. The second element was what he called heart concentration. This involved focusing all awareness into the spiritual heart, not the physical organ, but the subtle center of consciousness located in the chest. Abd-al-Qadir taught specific breathing techniques and visualization methods to gather all mental energy into the single point. The third element was divine alignment. Once consciousness was concentrated in the heart, the practitioner would align their entire being with a specific divine quality. Whether that was divine mercy, divine power, divine wisdom, or divine beauty, the key was not just thinking about these qualities, but actually becoming them at the deepest level of being. The fourth and most crucial element was what Abd-al-Qadir called effortless effort. This sounds paradoxical, but it describes a state where maximum spiritual intensity is combined with complete surrender of personal will. The practitioner becomes like a perfectly tuned instrument that divine will can play without resistance. These four elements came together. Witnesses reported phenomena that seemed to defy natural law. Historical accounts describe Abd-al-Qadir stopping rivers in their course to allow armies to cross safely. Multiple sources record him appearing simultaneously in different cities, hundreds of miles apart. Students reported that when he spoke certain formulas of remembrance, the very air around him would shimmer and bend as if reality itself was responding to his words. But perhaps the most documented miracle was his ability to provide for the needy through what appeared to be materialization out of thin air. When visitors came to his school hungry, he would enter into his state of concentrated remembrance, and food would appear, not through any visible means, but as if the very atoms of the air were rearranging themselves into bread, fruits, and water. Not modern students of consciousness might explain this through quantum field theory. The understanding that all matter is condensed energy and that consciousness itself might be the fundamental field from which all physical phenomena emerge. If this is true, then a consciousness perfectly aligned with cosmic forces might indeed be able to influence the formation of matter at the quantum level. But Abd-al-Qadir's teaching went far beyond performing miracles. He understood that these supernatural abilities were not goals in themselves, but natural byproducts of achieving perfect spiritual alignment. His real purpose was to show his students how to become perfect instruments of divine will. He taught that there are specific formulas of remembrance that, when practiced with the proper technique, can open channels between the visible and invisible worlds. But he was very careful about who he taught these methods to, because he understood that such power could be dangerous in the wrong hands. The key principle behind his method was what he called becoming what you remember. When you remember God's mercy with perfect concentration, you don't just think about mercy, you become mercy itself. When you remember God's power, you don't just contemplate power, you become a channel through which divine power operates in the world. This is why his method was so effective. Most people pray from a position of separation. They see themselves as limited beings asking an unlimited God for help. But Abd-al-Qadir taught his students to dissolve the sense of separation entirely. In the deepest state of remembrance, there is no you asking God for anything. There is only divine will expressing itself through the form that was once your individual consciousness. But let's be practical. How can modern seekers apply Abd-al-Qadir's principles without spending years in the wilderness? First, begin each prayer session with purification. This doesn't just mean ritual washing, but also clearing the mind of all worldly concerns. Abd-al-Qadir taught that you cannot access divine power while your consciousness is scattered among 1,000 daily anxieties. Second, practice heart-centered awareness. Before making any request or engaging in any remembrance, spend several minutes gathering all your attention into the area of your chest. Feel your awareness settling there, like light condensing into a laser beam. Third, align with divine qualities rather than asking for specific outcomes. Instead of praying, "Give me money," align your consciousness with divine abundance and become a channel through which abundance flows. Instead of praying, "Heal my sickness," align with divine wholeness and allow that wholeness to express itself through your being. Practice what Abd-al-Qadir called invisible action. This means performing your remembrance practice with such intensity and concentration that it affects the invisible dimensions of reality, which then manifests changes in the visible world. But Abd-al-Qadir also warned about the spiritual dangers of this practice. He taught that using these methods for purely personal gain would actually block the very spiritual development they're meant to produce. The power only flows when the ego gets out of the way completely. He also emphasized that these techniques should never be used to harm others or to force outcomes that go against divine wisdom. The practitioner becomes a channel for divine will, not a manipulator of cosmic forces for personal purposes. The most advanced students of Abd-al-Qadir developed what he called continuous remembrance, a state where divine remembrance becomes so natural that it continues even during sleep, work, and daily activities. In this state, their entire life becomes a prayer, and miraculous synchronicities become normal occurrences. These advanced practitioners reported that they no longer needed to perform the prayer method consciously. Their consciousness had become so aligned with divine will that they naturally attracted exactly what was needed for their spiritual service, exactly when it was needed. But perhaps the most profound aspect of Abd-al-Qadir's teaching was his understanding that these supernatural abilities are actually humanity's natural birthright. He taught that every human soul has the potential to become a perfect mirror for divine qualities. And when this happens, what we call miracles become as natural as breathing. The reason most people don't experience these abilities is not because they lack the capacity, but because their consciousness is too scattered, too identified with personal ego, too focused on material concerns to access the deeper layers of their spiritual nature. Abd-al-Qadir's method offers a systematic way to develop this latent potential, but he always emphasized that the ultimate goal is not to gain supernatural powers, but to become so perfectly aligned with divine will that your entire existence becomes a service to the highest good of all creation. Modern neuroscience is beginning to discover that consciousness itself might be far more fundamental to reality than previously thought. Studies of advanced meditators show that deep states of consciousness can indeed influence physical phenomena in ways that classical physics cannot explain. What Abd-al-Qadir understood 9 centuries ago, that consciousness and reality are intimately connected, that focused spiritual practice can influence physical circumstances, that human beings have vast untapped potential, is now being explored by cutting-edge research into the nature of consciousness itself. But for Abd-al-Qadir, this was never about proving anything to skeptics. It was about providing practical methods for sincere seekers to develop their full spiritual potential and become instruments of divine grace in a world that desperately needs it. The prayer that splits reality is not about breaking natural law. It's about discovering the deeper laws that govern the relationship between consciousness and creation. When you align your awareness completely with the source of all existence, you don't violate natural law. You access its most fundamental level, where thought and reality merge into one unified field of infinite possibility. Whether you call it quantum consciousness, divine alignment, or simply the deepest level of prayer, Abd-al-Qadir's teaching offers a pathway to discovering capabilities within yourself that you may never have imagined possible. The question is, are you ready to dissolve the limitations you've accepted about what's possible and explore the full potential of human consciousness aligned with divine will? In the end, the lesson of Abd-al-Qadir al-Jilani's prayer of power is not about chasing miracles, bending nature, or proving the supernatural. It is about transforming yourself into a vessel so clear, so surrendered, that divine will flows through you without resistance. When ego falls away, when the heart becomes a mirror for the qualities of God, life itself begins to align with the highest order of reality. True power does not lie in controlling the world outside you, but in dissolving the illusions within you until only divine presence remains. And from that presence, reality itself reshapes. So the real question is not whether you can move mountains, but whether you are ready to move the mountain of your own self, to step beyond limitation and become an instrument of the infinite. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to the NoorDeen channel for more wisdom and insights.